Hello guys, welcome to Bhavna's Online Academy. So today we are going to start with the chapter number 5, business level strategies. So if you are new to this channel, we have already uploaded chapter number 1 and chapter number 4 on the channel. Please do check it out also. And also before starting the session, this was actually a Zoom class which is recorded and being uploaded on YouTube. So I had asked them the question, who was their favorite actor or actress, and who do they think that their competition is of their favorite actor. So yes guys, so I had just forgot to record that, so the session starts from there.
So when I asked you the question of when I asked you who is your favorite actor or actress and a competition to them, who do you think is a competition to your favorite actor or actress? You guys gave me only one answer. But to the question of who was your who is the competition to your favorite actor or actress, there is actually 5 answers. There is actually 5. We are going to see what are the 5 answers that can be. Okay, so first I'll tell you what the 5 answers are dependent on. So for person A or for a business A or for a person A, person B can be a competition. Person B can be a competition. Not only person B, but many more people can be a competition. But how do you decide that someone is my competition? How do you decide that? On what basis do you decide that someone is your competition? Okay, how do you decide is that? There is one answer to this. Anybody, see, anyone who is going to pressurize you, anybody who is going to pressurize you to reduce your profit, is your competition. I'll explain why I'm telling this though. Anybody who is going to pressurize you to reduce your profit is going to be your competition. Okay, so we'll take the so under this topic. Okay, so what kind of people can pressurize you to reduce your profit is what we are going to see now. Okay, so there are 5 factors. So there are 5 factors or people who can pressurize you to reduce your profit. So the people who pressurize you to reduce your profit will be your competition. So now we are going to see what are the 5 forces. So what are such 5 forces is what we are going to see. So the first force is that I'll show you. Yeah. So here you have 5 areas for the 5 forces. The first one is rival sellers in the industry. So the first one is rival sellers in the industry. So anybody who is a rival to you in the industry will be your competition, because they will always try to drag you down. Okay. So the rivals will be your first competition. Second, who will be your competition is anybody who is a new entrant in the market. Like how in the movie business, when I asked you who was your favorite actor, few of you told me Vijay was. 1 second. Okay. So you guys told me that Vijay was your favorite actor. Okay. So for Vijay, who was a huge competition with? So for Vijay, who was your favorite? Can you please ask me the questions at the end or when I complete the topic, okay? So when I asked who was the competition to Vijay, you guys told me Ajit. So Ajit is the rival in the industry for Vijay. Okay? Then who is the next competition to the Vijay? First competition is Ajit, okay? For those who don't know who is Ajit and Vijay, they are people from Kollywood, okay? They are actors from Kollywood, because we have people from North India also who are joining in the class. So, okay, yes. Okay, just like Shah Rukh and Amir. Okay, so next we have to see who the threat of new entrants. So which new entrant can be a threat to Vijay is what you have to see. Which new entrant can be a threat to Vijay? I don't know much about Kollywood, but if you take in Bollywood, who is the threat to Shah Rukh or Amir or Salman? Can be Vicky Kaushal or people like that. Okay, or Ayushman. They and all can be new entrants. Kartik Aaryan, they and all can be the new people who are threat. Okay, next what you have to see is, so second person you have decided who is your competition. Third is the substitute products. Third is substitute products. So anybody who can substitute you well is your competition. Now suppose we'll take the example of CA coaching. Okay, we'll take the example of CA coaching. If there is a sir, okay, if there is a sir What has happened is that sir has been teaching accounts, for example, 30 years now. He has been teaching accounts for 30 years now. Okay, for him, who will be a competition? Anybody who can substitute that sir and teach better will be a competition to him, right? So your substitute products will also be your competition. Next, who can be a competition is that first we have seen rival, then new entrants and substitute. Fourth one, who can be your competition is that supplier bargaining power and buyer bargaining power. So I'll tell you what is supplier bargaining power and buyer bargaining power. So what I told you, what is the definition of competition we are reading here? Anybody who can reduce my profit or pressurize me to reduce my profit will be my competition. So if there is a supplier, okay, if there is a supplier who is pressurizing me to reduce my profit, will be my competition. A supplier who is pressurizing me to reduce my profit is my competition. Okay, and a buyer if he is bargaining with me and reducing my profit, he is my competition. He is my competition. Okay, competition doesn't mean who is capable of fighting with you. No, any person who can reduce your profit is your competition here. So a supplier who is reducing your profit will be the competition. How can a supplier be my competition? Okay, suppose I'm running a supermarket. Okay, suppose I'm running a supermarket. In the supermarket, I sell fresh vegetables and fruits. Okay, so there is this supplier known as Mark. Okay, this supplier's name is Mark. Okay, what this Mark does is, now when I'm going to buy vegetables from him, I usually sell my tomatoes at 100 rupees. I usually sell my tomatoes at 100 rupees. Mark usually, Okay, so Mark usually sells me tomatoes for 100 rupees. Mark usually sends me the tomatoes for 100 rupees. So my cost for tomato is 100 rupees. Now, usually my profit margin is 20%. So usually my profit margin is 20%. So what happens is, so when I sell it to the customer, I'll sell it at 120 rupees. I know that if I sell it more than 120 rupees, my customer will not buy tomatoes from me. My customers will not buy tomatoes from me. So what Mark does is, he knows that he is the only supplier I'm getting my tomatoes. Okay. So what happens is, when one fine day I go to Mark, what he does is he increases the cost and tell me he can only give me tomatoes at 110 rupees. He can only give me tomatoes at 110 rupees. So what has happened here? My cost has increased from 100 to 110. That means my profit will reduce from 20 rupees to 10 rupees, because I'll buy at 110 and sell at 120. I can only sell at 120 because if I sell it more than that, nobody will buy from me. That Mark knows. Mark knows that if I increase the Mark knows that I don't have any other supplier. So if I have to come, I have to come only to him. So he makes this use, and he uses his bargaining power here, the supplier bargaining power, and he pressurizes me to reduce my profit. So here supplier can also be a competition to you. Likewise, we'll see what is buyer bargaining power. Okay, we'll see what is buyer bargaining power. So what happens is there is this boy, and he is very poor. He is very poor. What he does is, he sells some books. Okay, he sells some books on the road. Can you explain power of supplier again, if you don't mind? Yes. So I'll complete this example and I'll again tell that. Okay, I'll finish buyer bargaining power and I'll tell that. Okay. So there is a boy who sells books on the road. What happens is, you are the buyer. Okay, this is Bhavna. This is me. This is Bhavna. I am going to go and buy from him. Okay, so I am the buyer here. What I can do is, when I go to the boy, what I do is, he sells me a book for 50 rupees. In which 10 rupees is his profit. He sells me a book for 50 rupees profit. What I do is, I go to him and I tell him, no, I cannot buy at 50 rupees. I'll only buy at I'll not give you 50 rupees. I'll only give you 45 rupees. If I'm going to give him only 45 rupees, his profit will reduce down to 5 rupees. Okay, because his margin was He used to buy books at 40 and sell at 50. 10 rupees was his profit. Now if I am going to bargain him at 45 and take away the books at 45, he does not have any power, because many customers don't approach him every day. So here I am powerful. Okay, so I have buyer bargaining power here. So in whichever area, whoever is powerful, they can have a good bargaining power. Likewise, in supplier, suppose this boy is Chetan Bhagat. Suppose now I'm explaining you supplier bargaining power here. Okay, Nishita, I think you only asked. Okay, listen. Okay, suppose this boy is none other than our Chetan Bhagat. Okay, I hope everybody knows this. What he says is, it sells his books at 1150. He sells his books at 1150, in which 100 rupees is his weight. I'll just take away. Okay, so we'll take the example. Okay, now this is Chetan Bhagat here. He sells his books for 1050 and his profit is 100 rupees. Okay, his profit is 100 rupees in that. Okay, or 1000 rupees in that, whatever. Okay, his book cost is only 50 rupees, but he sells it at 1150. Oh, sorry, 150 is his book cost and he sells it at 1150 and he keeps 1000 rupees for himself as profit. Now, as a buyer, if I'm going to go to Chetan Bhagat and ask him, who is Chetan Bhagat? He is a very famous author, okay? He has a lot of people who are ready to buy his book. There are a lot of people who are ready to buy his book. If now I'm going to go and bargain with him, will I have a bargaining power? No, I will not have a bargaining power. If I tell him to reduce his price and give me at 1100, he'll not give me. So here supplier has the bargaining power. He is more powerful here. Okay. So is this so all these 5 points, are they clear? So all these 5 points, are they clear, guys? Fast. Any doubts in the 5 points, or anybody who has me doubt? Is it clear, or you have any doubts? Okay, I hope it's clear for everybody. Okay, I'll move. Okay. So now this what they have done is, these 5 topics they have explained one by one. Okay, they have explained is the threat of new entrants. I have already explained you what is threat of new entrants. Here they have okay. So in things, new entrants can be my competition. That is what I assume here. Okay, so I am a firm who is already existing. In the case of newly launched product, power of supplier will prevail. No, power of buyer will prevail in the case of newly launched product, because sellers want to sell it. Okay, I unmute and ask if you have any doubt. I'm not getting your doubt. Yeah. Okay. So in the case of threat of new entrants, what happens here is that what we can do is, we are an existing firm. I am an existing firm. Okay. What I can do is, suppose I am a car manufacturer. We'll take the example of a car manufacturer. If I'm already a car manufacturer and I have a very good business, okay, I'm a good market player. I have a very good market share. Okay, so what happens here is, if there is a person who wants to enter, if there is a new car producer who wants to enter, this is a threat to me. That someone new is coming into the market, because I will explain your doubt now. Someone asked me, right, regarding the price. So how is this new person threat to me is your question. How will this new person will be threat to me is that, if suppose we take the price that I sell my cars at 1 lakh rupees. My usual price of car is 1 lakh rupees, and I have a profit of 50%. Is my profit. Okay. So when this new car person comes to the industry, he will also try to sell it at 1 lakh rupees. Suppose we are selling the similar kind of car only. So this new person will also try to sell it at 1 lakh rupees. But he obviously knows that if he's going to sell it 1 lakh rupees, nobody is going to buy from him. So what this new car producer will do is, he will try to sell his cars at, suppose he will try to sell it cars at 80,000 rupees. Suppose he will try to sell his cars at 80,000 rupees. What Indian customers usually do is, they will only see who is selling at lower prices, and they will easily get attracted to them, because both the cars same feature and same everything. They are almost similar only. Okay. So what the Indian customers will do is they will get attracted to the new car person. That is, he is giving the same type of car at 80,000. So I am the existing car person. I am the existing car person. What I will have to do then to give competition to the new car person, I will also have to reduce my price. If I reduce my price at 80,000, no use. I have to sell my price lower than that. If I reduce my price about 60,000, if I reduce my price for 60,000, what will happen here? How much was my profit earlier? In thousand, when I was selling for 1 lakh rupees, my profit was 50,000. That was 50k rupees was my profit. Okay. Now when I'm going to sell my car at 60,000 rupees, my profit will only be 10,000. My profit will only be 10,000, right? So it will reduce. So like this, the new entrant can cause harm to me. So like this, the new entrant can cause harm to me. So anybody who reduces or pressurizes me to reduce my profit is a competition to me. So what this threat of new entrants in this para, what they are trying to tell you is that how can you discourage this new people from coming into the market? Discourage this new people from coming to the market. Okay, you can try to raise barriers. So you can try to raise barriers. Okay, so you can try to raise barriers. So that way, this new people can be barred from coming into the industry. So what are the barriers to entry? Is what they have given next. Okay, so there are totally 7 barriers to entry. So totally there are 7 barriers to entry. Okay. So the first barrier is the capital requirement. That means when this new company is going to come into the car manufacturing industry, usually car manufacturing industry needs huge amount of money to be invested for the technology, for the plant and machinery, whatever they use to manufacture the cars. So huge amount of money will be needed if someone wants to start a car get into car industry, start a car manufacturing business. If I want to go and start a car manufacturing business, it's not easy. I don't have the fund right now. Okay, so this will be a barrier to me. The fund or the capital requirement, fund or the capital money which I have to invest, the money will be a barrier to me. So the first barrier to entry is my capital requirement. Okay. So the next barrier to entry is the economies of scale. So the next barrier to entry is the economies of scale. So in economies of scale, what they are trying to say is that, see, if I am going to produce, if my cost is going to be 1 lakh, and if I'm going to produce 1 lakh cars, I'm an existing company. Okay. So if my cost is 1 lakh rupees and I'm going to produce 1 lakh cars, then my cost per production will be very low. Okay. But if there is a new firm who is coming, when he comes into the market, he cannot start with 1 lakh cars because he doesn't know, right, if they're going to purchase 1 lakh cars or not. So he'll only start with producing 50,000 cars. But for him also, if 1 lakh is the cost, for existing company also cost 1 lakh. For new company also cost 1 lakh, but existing company is able to produce 1 lakh cars and sell it also. But new company doesn't know how much it will be able to sell, so it only produces 50,000 cars. In such case, existing company's cost of production will be very low. For per unit, we'll take example here. Okay, only for example, as per unit cost will only be 1 rupee. Whereas for the new entrant, the cost of production will be 2 rupees. So this will be a disadvantage to him. So this economies of scale will be a disadvantage to him. If he was already existing, he would have the economies of scale. So economies of scale is nothing but the decline in per unit cost of production. As the volume grows, your per unit cost will get declining. Okay, I hope this is also clear. Okay, next is product differentiation. So suppose there is a cosmetic industry. Okay, suppose there is a cosmetics makeup industry. Okay, give me a minute, guys. 1 second. Yeah. If suppose there is a makeup industry, right? You have to give something which is unique to the customer. Okay, because every makeup manufacturer will give powder to you. Every manufacturer can give a compact powder to you, or a kajal to you, or an eyeliner to you. But what they should do is everybody must be unique. They must have some kind of a differentiation. few kajal manufacturers will say kajal means, I hope you guys know what is kajal, okay? So kajal, a few kajal manufacturers will say that they are giving 24 hours smudge proof protection. That means that your kajal will not move from the place for 24 hours. Few people give it for 12 hours. Few people say that no, not low quality kajal versus high quality kajal. We are talking about differentiation, how one product is different from the another. Then a few kajal manufacturers can say that they give the color of the kajal is very much black. Others can say we are giving different colors of kajal. Like that, a new entrance has to bring some kind of a differentiation into the industry. Then only he'll be able to survive. So that is a threat to new entrant. Okay, so that is a barrier to new entrant. New entrant must think what and all, natural ingredients and all of that, right? Okay, I hope product differentiation is also clear. Next is switching cost. So what is switching cost is sometimes, psychologically, even in monetary wise, in money wise also, but more psychologically, you will be attracted, or you will be attached. You will be attached to a product or a brand. You will be very much attached to a product or a brand. Okay. If there is someone who uses iPhone, they'll be very much attached to iPhone. If there is someone who is using Android mobile phones, they'll be very much attracted to their Android. If you tell me, I have an Android mobile. Okay. If you tell me to change to iPhone, I will find it very much difficult, money wise also, because whatever we buy in Android, the money is very much lesser as compared to iPhone. Also psychologically, for me, I always will feel, and I always feel that Android is better for me. I feel it is easy for me to use. Okay, so this is the switching cost. If I have to switch from one product to another, the cost I will incur in money wise also, and psychologically also I will have the switching. I will be reluctant. I will not want to change. Likewise, if there is a new person, yeah, so likewise, if there is a new person, new entrant who is coming into the market, it will be a barrier to him. He will have to make people change to his product, which is very difficult for people in India. They're always if they're using one soap from so many years, they'll be using the same soap only. To do heavy advertising and all of that attract customers. So that is one to entry. Okay. Next is brand identity. As you all know, there might be few people who are very much attracted towards brand. If they want Nike shoes, or if they want Adidas shoes, they'll only use that. Okay, they'll not use these local shoes and all. Even if the same quality the local manufacturers are giving for same quality of Nike or Adidas, if they're giving it for a lesser price also, they'll not be able to. So because it has these brands, new entrant is bringing, and it's just a local manufacturer, that is a threat to him. That is a threat to the new entrant. Okay, he'll not be able to make his place. Next is access to distribution channels. So next is yes, where was I? So I think we are going a little slow on this topic. We need to buck up. Okay, I hope to finish it by today. This class might take up to 9 p.m. Okay, because okay. So access to distribution channels. So if I am a new producer, I will not find too much of distribution channels for myself. Okay, you know that there is Google Home. There is something known as Google Home, and for Google Home, Amazon Alexa is a competition. For Google Home, Alexa is a competition. But even though these both are competition, they still, in Amazon website, Google Home is also sold, Alexa is also sold. In the Amazon website, Google Home is also sold, Alexa is also sold. So if they're big people, you will find distribution channels. But if you're small people, you'll not be able to find to sell your products, okay, through whatever the existing channels are right now. Okay. Next is possibility of aggressive retaliation. So what is possibility of aggressive retaliation is that if there is a new product which is brought by if there is a product which is brought by a new firm, what will happen is the other firms, what they will try to do is they'll try to suppress the new player. What they can do is they'll reduce their price, the existing firm will reduce their price. Or else what the existing firm can do is they will increase their advertising so that this new people cannot. One second, guys. My class is going on. Yeah. Yeah. So what they can do is they can increase their advertising so that the new player, nobody comes to know about it and they just vanish off. Okay, so these are the threat to new entrants. I hope if this is clear. If this is clear, just put in a yes. Next is the bargaining power of buyers. I already told you what is bargaining powers of buyer in detail. So bargaining power of buyers, what they say is that, so when do buyers have a bargaining power? When a person is going to buy from another person, when do this buyer have a bargaining power? When this mom, mama, door. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. So when this buyer, yeah. So when this buyer will have a what example? One second. Another example with the example. I'm not able to understand. For what you need example? Okay, yeah. So buyer, can you please mute yourself? I think someone has unmuted themselves. Yeah, okay. So when does the buyer have a bargaining power? Is that when the buyer have the full knowledge of the product and their substitute also. So what will we do is, as Indian customers, what we do, we go to one place. We ask them what is the, we go to a mobile shop, okay? If they tell, can you please mute yourself, guys? Wait, let me. Yeah, okay. So guys, please, if you're coming into the session, please mute. It's very irritating. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it actually is. Substitute in the sense. Example for aggressive retaliation. If I am already a seller in the market, what I can do is, when the new players are coming into the market, what I'll do is, if suppose I am Ola and Uber, I am Ola or Uber, there is another person who is coming for taxi. Suppose taxi wala is coming, okay, they are a new entrant. I am Ola and Uber. If taxi wala is giving for one, if he is charging 50 rupees for this amount of kilometer, what I'll do is, if he is charging lesser than me, that if the new entrant is charging only 50 rupees for a certain kilometers, what I'll do is, I'll not let him charge that at all. I'll reduce my price. So that if I reduce my price, how many days will that new entrant survive? I can survive with whatever profits I have kept in my pocket, okay? But the new entrant will not be able to survive such low cost for a long time. So he will have to be pushed out of the market. So the existing players will retaliate to the new players. So they'll give a competition to the new players. I hope it's clear. So, so I was telling you about buyers have full knowledge of products and they substitute. So what can happen here is that if I am a person, okay, if I want to go and buy a, one second, someone is playing Ludo outside and it's disturbing. Just a minute. I'm really sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so now on we won't have any disturbance. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So if I'm going to a mobile shop and I want to suppose buy a Redmi, okay, I want to buy a phone of Redmi. What I'll do is, I'll go and ask to that person, in what price are you selling? If you're saying I'm selling it at 20 rupees, I have the full knowledge of the product. I have the full knowledge, okay. I'll go and then I'll see Amazon. At Amazon, if it is selling at 15,000, I'll go and check Snapdeal at what price they are checking, what price they are selling. They're selling at 12,000. I'll go to another shop and I'll check with them. He is selling at 10,000. So here I have the power, okay. If I have the power, I will say, if I'll go to the shop and he tells me 20,000, I'll tell you, in another shop they are selling at 10,000. Are you ready to sell to me at 10,000 or not? That is my bargaining power. If he says no, then it's his loss, because I'll go to another shop and I'll purchase. So this is the buyer's bargaining power, okay, because I have the full knowledge about the products. Or else, if he's not able to reduce the price, then I know what other substitutes are there for Redmi. I'll go for the substitute, okay. Then what we have is that, then if we are big buyers, okay, If suppose there is a shop, if there is a farm, from this farm there is a farmer who works in this farm and he sells me. If there is a farmer in a farm and he sells me, suppose he is the one who sells me all the vegetable. Okay, I buy vegetables from him, from this farmer, and I buy vegetables from 2 to 3 other farmers also. But this farmer only sells to me. This farmer only sells. So what will happen is I am a big buyer for the farmer because the farmer is only selling his produce to me. What if one day I go to the farm and I tell you, "Hey, I will not take the price you are charging. Okay, I will only give you less price. Here I am the buyer from the buyer. Farmer will have no other go but to sell me at lower prices. Why? Because here I have buyer bargaining power. If the farmer is not going to sell to me, I will move on to another person. But the farmer will not be able to search. Is my voice audible, guys? Is there any break? Hello? Hello? No. Okay. Sorry, I just messaged that internet connection is unstable. That's why. So here, this farmer, he will not be able to reduce. Here, the buyer has the bargaining power. I am a big buyer here. So he'll have that money that I think on him to buy his product. So he will be dominated here. Okay. Next, when can a buyer have his bargaining power is that when the industry's product is not perceived as critical, buyers are more concentrated than firms supplying each easily switch into substitute available. Okay. So what will happen here is that if I am if there are two, suppose you just think that there are only 3 people who are producing toothbrush. There are only 3 people who are producing toothbrush. Okay. So if there are only 3 people who are producing the toothbrush, and this product, this product is not very we'll see that the paste. Okay, we'll take it as toothpaste. So there are 3 people who are selling toothpaste. There are only 3 who are selling toothpaste. And for me, toothpaste is not important. Suppose it is not critical to me. I can live without my toothpaste. I'll use my that flex and all of that. I don't need my taste. So it is not a critical problem here. So here, what can happen is if we are a lot of if we are a lot of what do you say? If we are a lot of sorry. If there are a lot of sellers and also there are people who are sorry. If there are sellers, okay, and 3 people are only selling the toothpaste, here buyer will gain power is what they're trying to say. If I don't want toothpaste, I'll switch on to another product. But the sellers who are selling the toothpaste will not be able to find their buyers. Okay, because all the buyers will have something into which they can switch. So here we buyers have the bargaining power. Here we buyers have the bargaining power. Alternatives. Is my recording disturbed one second? It's getting recorded. Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying is that is this clear? Buyers bargaining power. Is buyers bargaining power clear for everyone? Okay. Next, we are moving on to we have seen a buyer. We have seen the bargaining power of buyers. We are now going to see the bargaining power of suppliers. So same way as the buyer, if now seller will have the power. Okay. So what can here happen is that the products which the seller is selling, it is very crucial. It is very crucial to the buyer. The product which the seller is going to sell is very crucial to the buyer, and no substitutes are available for that. It is very important. Suppose there is only one person in the world who is selling salt. If there is only one person in the monopoly can be an example for the first point, right? Yes. Okay, we'll take the example of monopoly then. Who is a monopoly in India? Railways are the monopoly in India. Okay. So railways is very crucial to everyone. Okay. And we have any substitute for railways now. If you want to travel rail, you have to only go to the Indian railways. We don't have any private marketplace here. So in that case, the railways will have a bargaining power. If railway thinks it can increase or decrease the price, okay, it can increase or decrease the price, and we cannot ask them anything because we don't have any private place. We cannot switch to anybody. That is one. Another is high switching cost. If I have to move one product to the other, if I have to move from my Android phones to the iPhone, okay, in such case, what will happen is that I will incur high switching cost. Okay, I will incur high switching cost. That means what my disadvantage is that even if I want to switch on to iPhone, I'll not be able to switch on to it. So in that case, the Android mobile users or the Android mobile manufacturers will have a bargaining power. The persons who are supplying the Android phones will have more bargaining power. Okay, because because the buyer who is going to buy the phones have a high switching cost. I'll not be able to switch into anything else. So he'll just keep. So the supplier will have more bargaining power. Okay. Then there are more concentrated than buyers. Sellers are less and buyers are more. Sellers are less, but buyers are more. In such case, seller will have more power. In such case, seller will have more power. Okay. For this, okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, suppose there are 4 boys in the country and there are only 2 girls in the country, and these 4 boys are wanting to are willing to marry. Okay, then here it will not be in the boy's hand. What happened? What is this? Yeah. So in this situation, it will not be in the boy's hand or the groom side to select which girl they want, because there are less girls and more boys. In that case, it will be in the hand of girls to choose which boy they want. So here girls are the seller and boys are the buyer. So they can choose to whom they want to marry or like that. So here sellers are more concentrated than buyers. Bargaining power of suppliers also. I hope it is clear. Okay. If you have any doubt, let me know. Then is the nature of rivalry in the industry. Then is the nature of rivalry in the industry. So what they are talking about here is the industry competition. Industry competition. The industry itself, if they have any rival. Example, how Vijay had rival in the industry called Ajit. How Shah Rukh Khan had a rival in the industry known as Amir or Salman. So like that. Okay, rival in the industry itself. Okay. So what they are trying to say is rivalry among competitors tend to be cutthroat. Okay, there will be a cutthroat competition between them, and in the profit. So suppose there is a movie producer who casts some hero in this movie. There are 2 options. Either Vijay, or there are not 2 options, but 5 options. Vijay, Ajit, Surya, and okay, or 2 more. Okay. If there are 2 more options to him, here what will happen is everybody will be a rival to each other, because everybody is having a competition here to get casted in the movie. In such case, if the movie person says, I'll only give you, if suppose they all are usually charging 10 crores, and if suppose here the movie person will tell you 5 crores, and if any of the 5 people or the 5 heroes are not getting any movies, what they have to do is they have to accept the offer of 5 crores only. Even if they usually do at 10 crores, if they're not getting any other movies, they have to accept it at 5 crores only, because if they don't accept it at 5 crores, some other rival will accept at 5 crores. So the profitability will be low when there are a lot of rivals in the industry. Okay. So when such rivalry is there, is when there is no clear leader. There is not one person who is the best. There are a lot of people who are best. So all of them become rival to each other. And the competitors are numerous. Okay. Then competitors operate with a high fixed cost. Okay, this point they have told here in detail. I'll go to the directly detailed point itself. The same points they have told here. First, they have told is about industry leader. So when is something called rivalry there? What happens when rivalry is there in the industry, or what we are going to see now? What we are going to see now is, when do you have rivalry in the industry, and when this rivalry is going to be like very much competitive. Okay, first is when there is industry leader. Okay, if there is no clear leader, you will have a lot of rivalry. Suppose if there is a very clear leader, this person is only the leader in the industry, what can happen is that he will discourage price wars. he will discourage price wars. How is that? 1 second, please. How do they say here that he can discourage price war? We'll take an example. Okay, Swiggy. If there is Swiggy and there are Swiggy is the market leader. Swiggy is the market leader. There are two more people known as Uber Eats. There is Uber Eats and suppose there are Food Panda. Suppose there is Uber Eats and there is Food Panda. Food Panda and Uber Eats are not much of a competitor, but Swiggy is the market leader here, whereas Uber Eats and Food Panda are all new entrants. Okay, that is what you have to assume. Now, if what happens is Swiggy is already been in the industry for a lot of years and been earning a good amount of profit. Swiggy charges a delivery cost of 50 rupees. Okay, Uber Eats and Food Panda were also charging said that one day Uber Eats got the idea and he told, why don't I reduce my price? Why don't I reduce my price and make it 40? So if Uber Eats thought that he would make his price to 40, what will Swiggy do? He will also reduce his price. Swiggy will reduce his price to 30 or 20. Swiggy here has been in the industry for a lot of years and he has a lot of accumulated profits which he can use against the loss he is making. But Uber Eats is just new to the industry. If he is going to have a price war with Swiggy, he is definitely going to fail in that. Okay, Uber Eats will not be able to have a long time of making loss. It will just get vanished if he is making loss continuously. Whereas Swiggy can survive loss also because it has a lot of accumulated profits. So this is what they're trying to say. If there is a strong industry leader, no, he will encourage the price wars. He will discipline. So every new entrant will know if he's going to have a price war, somebody who's as strong as the leader in the market, they are going to simply vanish. So there will be no price wars. So this is one advantage when there are rivals. Then number of I'm trying to say here is if there are a lot of rivals, if there are a lot of rivals in the industry and there is one there, in such case, what will happen is that so same pricing they will maintain. Okay, they'll not have price was the same thing only they have given here number of meters. Okay. Next, what they are given is so they are trying to say fixed cost is there when rival. Okay, so when rival to in the industry of airplane industry. Okay, yes. So if all of them are going to have a airplane industry here, are running the airplane industry, then they will be producing airplanes. Okay. Suppose these three people are producing ads, you'll have a huge fixed cost. So what will happen in such case is that if three of them are having huge fixed costs, they will avoid to have price war. They will avoid price wars here. They will avoid price wars here. They'll try it because if they start having price wars, they'll start running into losses. If they run into losses, who will bear the cost? So that will be a very big headache to them. So what they usually do is they say, so if they have a good capacity, if they have an excessive capacity, it's okay. If there are a lot of customers coming to them, it's okay. But if there are a lot of customers who are not coming to them, then what will happen is if they are going to have high fixed cost and have a price war, then that will be a major, what do you say, that will be a problem to them. Okay. Okay. If they're able to have costs or not, they will have to be reducing their profits and all of that. Okay. Next, exit barriers. So what if you're in, you have to have a lot of assets. If you have to have a lot of assets when you are going to enter into a kind of industry, suppose manufacturing industry. If you want to enter into a car manufacturing industry, want machine plant and all of that. Okay, what will happen if suppose what is car producer or someone like that, okay, a car manufacturer? What will happen in such cases that what technology or what machinery you're using for producing or manufacturing Mercedes or other car manufacturers are not using the same technology. These few firms, are using the kind of technology which is not used by others. Suppose one day, voice is breaking. You can't hear my voice. Huh? Hello, guys. Hello. Are you able to hear? Yeah, yes, clear. And that's, I guess it was some Wi-Fi issue. I've switched on to mobile data. Okay. Okay. Also, now I'm teaching, that might be like a little confusing to you. If it's confusing, don't worry at all. Once we complete this, after this topic is completed, I'll give you a recap so that you get clear. Okay, where was I? Suppose you're a manufacturer of Benz or Audi car, okay, and you will need specialized asset or specialized machinery when you enter. When you entered, you had a very good specialized machinery and all of that. Now, suddenly, what happens is Mercedes do not want to continue their business anymore. Mercedes do not want to continue their business anymore. In such case, what Mercedes have to do is they have to exit the industry. But what will happen here is Mercedes has put in so much of money in the technology and assets that only if they are able to sell off the assets and technology only they will be able to exit, or else they will exit with 0 rupees in their hands only. So in such case, what happens is because this technology is specialized for Mercedes or such machineries are specialized for Mercedes making, no other person will be ready to buy your assets. In such case, you will have a very hard time selling your assets to the other people when you are about to exit. So this will be your exit barriers. You will not be able to exit easily. Okay. Okay. So I will just tell you. Okay, guys. Also, one more information. I don't think I'll be able to complete this chapter today because there is a lot of things to explain. I'll be if it just a minute. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So this chapter is actually small only, but the sentences written here are like a slight confusing. So I'm trying to explain you each and everything that is given in the book. So if this class is extended, tomorrow morning the class will be okay from around 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. or 8 a.m. Okay. Silence. Okay. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'll continue. So until what? So last 2 points we'll see, and then we'll see what we have seen until now. Then other one is product differentiation. So in product differentiation, what they say is that firms can sometimes insulate themselves from price wars by differentiating their prices from those of rivals. So suppose there are few rivals in the firm and they don't want to have a price war. What they can do instead is that they can differentiate the products from one another, like how Colgate, Pepsodent, and that what do you have that Dabur, and they are all running in the same products, okay, but they have differentiated the products, so they don't want to have a price war. All these products are selling at 20 or 30 rupees or whatever the amount is, 50 rupees, okay. But since they cannot reduce their price, what they are trying to do is they are trying to bring in differentiation in their product. Dabur is trying to bring herbals into it, whereas Colgate is trying to bring an ad where they're trying to show that the breath is very nice if they use the Colgate or something like that, Cool Max or something, I don't know. So that is the product differentiation you can bring. Next is slow growth. If you have very slow growth in the industry, if firms take a very long time to grow in the industry, then in such case the rivalry will be very intense. We'll take the example of CA coaching industry. In this industry, the teachers which are starting will have to at least have experience of 5 to 10 years to reach the top of the market or to be the market leader. It is a very slow growth in this industry. So what will happen is all the new teachers will have very intense rivalry among them. Okay. So this can cause rivalry in the industry. Okay, I'll just first brush up whatever we have read until now. We first started with what are the 5 areas where a person can face competition. In that we saw what will happen if we have a threat of new entrants, what will happen if we have supplier bargaining power, and what will happen or when can a buyer have his bargaining power. And now we completed the topic of rival sellers in the industry. We still have substitute products left. After this only the chapter is actually going to start. Okay, after we complete the substitute products. Okay, and in this 4 topics, is everyone clear? In this 4 topics, is everyone clear? I hope until bargaining power and all, you'll be clear. In the rivalry in the industry, you might have few doubts. If you read it once, you'll be clear. Okay, don't say for my sake that you're clear. If you're unclear, just tell me it's very unclear, or you're not able to understand. Whatever it is, don't hesitate to tell. Okay, I won't mind. If it's not clear, let me know now itself. Okay, a few more answers, please. Okay, I hope it's clear to everyone. Okay, cool. Okay, next what we are going to see is the 5th force. Can you explain bargaining power of supplier? Supplier will have a good bargaining power. Okay, I'll just recap this fastly and I'll move on to the next because you're taking a lot of time here. Yeah, I do have suppliers bargaining power. Yeah, so what will happen is supplier will have a good bargaining power. That means supplier will be the king of the, okay, will be the king. Oh, I'll give you the same example of boy and girl. Okay, suppose supplier, okay, there is a supplier. We'll take the example. Okay, this is just a funny example. Okay, don't take it into your hearts. If the girl's dad is a supplier, there is only one girl and the girl's dad is a supplier, and that girl is suppose Deepika Padukone or Nayanthara. She has a huge demand. There are around 50 boys in the queue. There are 50 boys in the queue. I will take this 50 boys as buyers. They want to buy, not buy the girl actually, they want to marry the girl. Don't take it in the wrong sense. Just for example, I'm telling you, okay? So there are 50 boys and there is one girl who is either Deepika Padukone or Nayanthara. All the 50 boys wants to marry that girl only. So that girl's father is a supplier. Now he will decide which buyer he want to give. So that is a bargaining power that the supplier has here. So he will have more bargaining power here. So his product is very crucial. The girl is very crucial and this girl does not have any substitute. There is no one like Deepika Padukone or Nayanthara. Okay. Then high switching cost. High switching cost I'll not be able to explain here. Then more concentrated than their buyers. So there is only one supplier whereas there are a lot of buyers. So this is the bargaining power of supplier. Is it clear? Economies of scale. In the last I'll explain you economies of scale. Okay. I hope in the topic you don't have any economies of scale. You must have learned it in your 12th or foundation. Okay. Sushmita, is it clear fast? We don't have time. Okay. Threat of substitutes. So what is the threat of substitutes? Here suppliers are less and buyers are more. Yes, right. Correct. Okay. So threat of substitute means you have a lot of substitute. Okay. So when you have a lot of substitute, that becomes a competition to you. Okay. If there is someone who can replace Nayanthara or Deepika Padukone and be a better actress, then that is a substitute they can have for them. That will be a problem for them. Okay. So there, what happened was many of you might have heard the name of Fujifilm or Kodak. What happened was Fujifilm and Kodak used to run on the reel cameras, the one with reels. Okay. So what happened is that very soon the new digital cameras started to replace them. So these, what happened is if I was going to go to the market and I had an option of buying Kodak or Fujifilm, or if I had an option of buying Nikon or Nikon DSLR or something like that, I would obviously choose the DSLRs which don't run on reels because that is more efficient for me. So Kodak and Fujifilm started having substitute for their products and soon they were out of business. So that is a threat of substitute. I hope it is clear. Okay, finally, we are going to enter into a chapter. We have completed 1 hour on the discussion. So no problem. If that is for clearing your topic, then it's okay. Okay, guys. So from here now on, only it is important. Listen from now on clearly. Okay. So business level strategies. So we started this chapter with business level strategies. Okay, so now we are going to learn business level strategies. Business level strategies is a strategy which is made by the middle level management. Okay, the middle level management, what they try to do is they try to understand what their customer needs are, what kind of customers are they serving or targeting, what the customer actually needs or are expecting from them, and according to that they build a strategy. If suppose there is trends, okay, if suppose there is Reliance Trends sells clothes, they'll try to understand what their customers are willing from them. If they are willing more western clothes, they'll sell more western clothes. If they are expecting more sale, they'll give more sale. So this bringing of western clothes in the trends or giving sales, or what else you can have in trends. Or example, if the when the customers come there, what they want is they want to have something to drink or eat also when they are shopping. That and all they'll take into consideration. So this and all is what combines into a business level strategy. So business level strategy mainly focuses on what customer needs, and according to that they bring a strategy. So these are what the business level managers do. Okay, they bring a strategy of business level. Okay. So first, to bring a business level strategy, is very important that you know who your customer are. Okay, you must know what your customer needs. If you are able to predict and satisfy your customer, that is best for a business level strategy, because Trends is running only because of its customer. A business like Trends is nothing but like your Reliance Trends. I hope everybody know what Trends is. It's just a clothing store. Okay, by Reliance. Okay. So if they know what their customer need only, they'll be able to serve according to that, right? What happens is, if I go into Trends, they are selling saris. Trends mainly doesn't focus on sari business, okay? Because sari is not worn by major portion of the customers. If you take jeans, if you take t-shirts, if you take shirts, if you take pants, or if you take long dresses and all of that, this is what the maximum portion of customers wear. So they have understood their customers well, and they have brought in segments according to, their clothing according to it. They also understand that we customers, we get very attracted towards a lot of sale. Okay, so they give one on one free, or 50% off, or 70% off, or during festives, like that and all they give sales. So they understand what the customer needs, and they predict their customers and satisfy our needs according to that. So that's why Trends is a big hit. Okay, so Trends is a business level. Trends is a segment, it is a business level, and the Trends must have a business level manager who brings in strategies for Trends. Okay, this business level manager is very good at his work. He understands what the customer needs. Okay, this is a good example for business level strategy. You will take a bad example for business level strategy. So you might have heard of the group of Tata. Okay, Tata gives salt. Tata has consultancy services. Tata also was providing Tata Sky is there. Then you have this Tata also brought in car. Okay, Tata's car was known as Nano. So this is a segment. This is a business level segment. Nano is a business level segment, and this business level segment is what do you say? Is brought in by this strategy for Nano was brought in by a business level manager only. But we all know how much big fail was Nano. Okay, because they didn't understand what their real customer needed. Okay, here the Tata, the main corporate level people of Tata won't sit and set a strategy on how Nano car should be, what should be its feature, that and all the corporate level people won't do. The people who are the managers of Nano, or the people who are managing the Nano segment, or people who are what do you say? Even every segment has a CFO and CEO on its own. Even at Tata level, they will have one CEO and CFO who looks at the Tata group. Even under Nano segment also, they will have one CEO, CFO, and all of them. These people only will decide what are the features of Nano, how the car should be, and all of that, the design. But here it was a very big failure on the part of the business level managers of Nano, and it was a big no-no. So I gave you a good example of business level strategy and a bad example of business level strategy also. So I hope your doubts will be clear regarding. If you had any doubt, you will be clear regarding what is business level strategy. Okay. Yes. Okay, guys, I'll give you a 1 minute break. You can go have your water and come back. We are moving on into a very important topic. Also, tell me if everything is clear until now. Have you understood business level strategy? You can have your water and come back. Why nano is a bad example? Nano, nano was okay until if I'll just give you this insight that nano, it was a very big failure. You know what happened? What nano? I'll tell you this. It's okay if we take a little time because I think anyway the class is going to be extended. So I'll give you the example and move. So what happened was that nano when it came, what Tata, I mean the nano manufacturers thought was that if we bring a small car, if we bring a small car, that means the expense or the cost of the car will also be less. So Indian customers, Indian people do not have very large houses. So the car will be able to fit into the house also, and they will have a very low cost of the car also. So everybody will have a car at their home. Okay, so its main motive was that everybody should have a car at their home at low cost. So that is what the strategy they brought in Nano. But what actually happened was that if you see someone driving Nano, people started making fun of it. What they thought was this Nano will be at every home and Nano will be a big success. On the other hand, what actually happened was this Nano was a big failure. If you go and research about it a little bit, you'll understand why Nano was actually a failure. Okay. So we'll move on to how to satisfy customer needs. We understood who are the customers. Meeting ending in minutes. Why don't we start in fresh? How many? Okay, 1 minute is it?